What up? What up? What up? What up?
It was good.
Welcome to Let's Get to the Facts podcast. I'm your host, Doss, with my man, Coach Shot. And today we got a special guest with us, the new head coach of Lutheran East High School in Cleveland Heights, Ohio, Coach Tyler Curtin. How you doing, gentlemen?
Hey man, I'm blessed, man. How you doing?
Good, man. Good.
Good.
About you, Coach Shot? What's up, man?
I'm good, man. Hey, it's been a lot of stuff in the news. I'm ready to go.
It's a lot of stuff in the news today. But we wanna start this off, man, and we want to show love to Coach Curtin because he just got his first head coaching position in the Cleveland area. So we want to talk to you about what's your plans for Lutheran East, man. That's my old stomping grounds. I used to be the head coach there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so I talked to the players on Friday, so it was a blessing meeting everybody. Kind of presenting my plan of the installing the culture, which is a sacred culture. S is for selfless, A is accountability, C is Christ-centered, R is respect, E is effort, and D is dedication.
okay.
So that's the acronym. But then I kind of presented to them of things I want to be elite at, and I think I'm hiring an elite coaching staff that's going to give them an elite football education.
Okay.
Football education is, I could go into more depth of that later, but an example is like somebody going to college and being able to raise their hand in the first meeting room as a freshman and can understand the lingo. Elite player development, elite personal development. I got my master's degree in school counseling. So, as Coach Reed know, like I'm a player's coach, man. Relationships is first. And then we want to be elite in the community. And then some other stuff that's just for the locker room. But yeah, just be elite, man.
Okay, I got it. So what's your numbers looking like? You got kind of an idea, like what
Yeah,
it is you got going on?
Yeah, so the first meeting, there was about 43 players in there returning from last year. I think that's like sophomores through or juniors through freshmen. So you're talking about sophomores through seniors next year.
Okay.
I kind of just finalized most of the staff today. So besides a few positions, so now having the OC and the DC and strength and conditioning guys ready, I can start go recruiting this 8th grade class and getting ready to enroll as a student at Lutheran East. Should I say that correctly? But
no, hey, I understand that completely. But so at Lutheran East, as I told you, I was the head coach there. There are a lot of challenges you're gonna face.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them being you're a new head coach.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming in behind a guy because I believe didn't they make the playoffs last year?
9-1, the best record they've ever had. So yeah.
So how do you make the players believe that you can continue that same energy that they had last year? Like how do you get them to buy in?
Yeah, so I think that's actually one of the challenges is I think I'm coming in with a different energy, probably a little bit more energy, and not to say that in a bad way, but just I'm younger, so that's just the way it is. But it's a different look. I'm coming from the GCC, so there's a different standard there.
Okay.
And that's going to be the challenge is like, hey, why are we doing more work? And we were 9-1 last year and we didn't have to do those type of things. And my goal isn't, beating the CMSD schools that's on the schedule. My goal is to round 3 of the playoffs, round 4 of the playoffs. That's actually what me and the coordinators were talking about an hour ago is raising the standard level. It's not about what's on the schedule, but what's the ghosts that you can't see. Those are the people that you got to compete against. So, and even if they were 9-1 and they won the state championship last year, they still got to come back with a different mindset. So you can never be complacent in life. And I guess I kind of get that always to the kids, like, you want to be a starter, but that goal isn't good enough because you're a starter. You're still not the best in the conference. Okay, you're the best in the conference. It's still not good enough because you're not the best in the region. Okay, you're the best in the region. Still not good enough because you're not the best in the state. Right. You become the best in the state. You're not the best in the country. Are you the best in the country? You go to college. Guess what? You're a freshman. You're not the best on the team, and that cycle starts over. And even if you become the all-time leading scorer in the NBA history, and you haven't had no smut on your name or nothing, you getting compared to ghosts. So, like, even LeBron, can't style. He's still not good enough in a lot of people's eyes. So, what makes you think as a freshman starter or a sophomore starter at Lutheran East that you're just good enough? Or Shaker or Euclid or anywhere I've been, it's never good enough. So,
okay. All right, Coach, you got any questions for him?
I got a few for him. So Coach
Okay.
Curtin, my guy, of course. You know, I coached with him at
my guy, man.
at Shaker for a couple of years there, man. So my question is this: so you're headed into, like I said, you're going to basically the Catholic school. Y'all should have your own league, but y'all don't. But you headed to the Catholic school realm of now you have to recruit these players out of, you know, some out of the Muni League, some out of these CYO football programs. So what can you do? What are your plans to set you apart from the St. Ed's, the the St. Ignatius, the Glenvilles, those schools that can technically recruit because of whatever their circumstances are?
Yeah, so number one, I think it's me. It's the coach player relationship that's gonna be different. And it's not a shot at any coach. I think St. Ignatius, St. Ed's, Glenville, I mean they're not private, but the elite schools around here, I think all have great coaches, and I got good relationships with a lot of those coaches. But I think, and this is not an ego thing, but I don't think there's a better coach in Northeast Ohio about relationships and caring about their kids. And so anybody that wants a coach that cares about their kids and their kids' success, like, I think I'm the best coach in the country at that. And that's not something that you can measure. It's just something that you can feel out. But I think I got a track record of, you can really ask any kid that played for me, whether they played a lot, whether they didn't play, whether they didn't even make the team. And I think that was the coolest thing, is seeing a kid that didn't even make, not that we even try out, but he just stopped playing. But I seen him working at a restaurant and he showed me mad love. And I think that was the coolest thing. So I'm relationships is first, and I think I'm the best at that. So that, but then as far as like X's and O's, I think I could get on the board with anybody. That don't mean necessarily I'm smarter than anybody. I don't believe that. I got a lot to learn, and I'm hungry to learn. But I am learning, and I will continue to learn. And I'm always in the lab, just trying to draw up stuff, calling college coaches, learning. And then the recruiting world, that kind of speaks for itself. I don't like to say I'm responsible for these kids. I think, like when I take a kid to a camp, they've got to run the 4-4. They got to perform, but helping them choose what camps to go to, helping them with their highlight tapes, helping them how to communicate with college coaches, the whole 9 yards of the recruiting process has been a proven thing that we've done and I've done over the years. And yeah, shout out to my guy Jade in the draft this year. So
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
Got a follow-up question. So
yeah,
so basically, this is my question. So to any prospective kid like that's currently in high school, like say if you got some kids at your former high school like Shaker that's thinking about transferring, what's your best pitch to them right now? What are you selling them on right now? And I already know Luke East is a basketball school per se. You know what I'm saying? Football is coming up. Coach Wash did his thing last year with them. So it's now your turn at the head of the at the head of the operation. So what's your pitch to any kid that's out here listening that might be thinking about transferring or coming there next year? What can Louise offer?
Yeah, so I'll be first to say, I'm not trying to recruit anybody from Shaker. And that doesn't mean them kids can't come over and play. But shout out to Babinick and Eni. They've done a lot to help me get in this position. Nicholson, of course, too. So I wouldn't turn around. Like, I've done a lot to help build my alma mater back up. And I wouldn't turn around and stab them in the back and start taking kids away. That would make me, number one, a hypocrite. But also, number two, it's like counterproductive to my alma mater. So I'm not doing that. Even if I wanted to, the transfer rules for that would be pretty difficult. So I just wanted to say that about Shaker. But now for other kids, to repeat your question, I'm sorry. It was
so basically
my best pitch.
Yeah,
my best pitch. Yeah. So really, this was the pitch to the kids that were there. So they're 9-1. They have the best record in school history. And I say, when you're first year forever. So they're the first kids to ever do that. They also got the potential to go 10-0 this year, which means like names in the rafters. Your season is like immortalized forever. You guys are like the best people ever to come through here. And so because of that, like the rest of the things that happen at Luther Nice is technically like your legacy, AKA like Nick Chubb can come back to the Browns and rush for like 20,000 more yards. Who's the Browns? Jim Brown. It don't matter like what Nick Chubb, can do after this. It doesn't matter what player goes to the Bulls from here on out. It's still Michael Jordan, LeBron. Cavs is still LeBron. So like, I told him like, why would you leave your legacy to go continue somebody else's legacy? And so the same thing would be for a kid that is at a different school and wants to kind of make a name for themselves and be a legacy type of guy. Like, man, you got a potential to come over here and be the best player ever because it's like wide open and not a lot of schools are. Like, I mean, Trey McNutt is a prime example. Like, you know, this is the highest recruited kid ever out of Shaker. It's still Nate Clemens School. And it's like, no matter what he did, like, people are not going to be able to kind of get past that. So,
yeah, you are correct about that. Shaker is still Nate Clemens.
Okay. Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck, but we hope you stick around with us as we go through the rest of this podcast.
Yeah, sure.
We're definitely gonna make it to some games, but let's get into this crazy talk, man.
Yeah,
right around
the crazy talk right now is free agents frenzy already crazy. So I gotta start this off. Because my Seattle Seahawks are falling apart.
Well, you a Seahawks fan?
I'm
a Seahawks fan.
Seahawks fan. I'm a Browns and Seahawks fan.
So where the Seahawks come from? I'm gonna interrupt you.
Remember when the Browns left and we ain't had no team?
Okay. You know, anytime somebody say that, I respect it. So
yeah. So when the Browns left, we ain't have a team. I needed somebody to root for, and I ended up liking the Seahawks. So when the Browns came back, it was just that. I actually did a big thing about that on the podcast probably about 2 weeks ago.
So who was the player? Steve Largent? Like, who is it?
Yeah, it was Steve Largent. Oh my goodness, what was the quarterback's name?
I know you're talking about Hasselbeck.
No, it wasn't Hasselbeck, but I also liked Sean Smith. Wasn't that his name, the running back? No, not Sean Smith.
Sean Alexander.
There you go. Yeah. So, you know, I'm old, man. So my brain started forgetting all these players and shit. But so yeah, man, my Seahawks right now, DK Metcalf gone.
Mm-hmm.
Geno Smith gone. Mm-hmm. Tyler Lockett gone. And they released 5 defensive players that were impact players as well. I understand the rebuild, but then their answer to everything was, we're going to sign Sam Darnold for $110 million. Dude, when I tell you I am hurt by this one, y'all have no idea. He can't go to the Steelers. Geno to the Raiders. I don't know where Tyler Lockett at, but I know he's going to end up in the Raiders uniform.
Geno to the Raiders?
I think he's going to go.
I mean, you got Sammy D and JSN. You know, he got somebody to throw the ball to.
And then listen, I like the running back. We still got Walker, good running back. We also got Charbonnet, good running back. However you pronounce his last name. I like what Darnold did with Minnesota, but the problem is it's not the quarterback, because Darnold's been in the league for years. Yep. It's the quarterback coach he had that made him be who he was. I don't see Vikings quarterback happening in Seattle. I don't see it at all.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Neither do I. I ain't expect Sammy D, as I call him, to go there. I'm gonna switch lanes real quick, and I gotta go talk about my Browns real quick, Coach.
So that's on the agenda. If you're talking about what took place today.
Yeah, that guy.
wait.
What I will say.
Go ahead, Coach.
I was about to say, what I will say about the Seahawks. Well, first of all, shout out to my boy Kendall Agee. His dad played for the Seahawks, so I know he's a fan. But I'm not a fan of Sam Darnold, and I'll tell you why. Like, are you an O-State fan?
Oh yeah. Buckeyes.
So I feel like when a person tears us apart, like in college, I kind of know, like, all right, they're gonna be good in the league. So Baker Mayfield, I remember watching Iowa way back in the day. Adrian Claiborne, J.J. Watt kind of came onto the scene. So we had that bowl game versus USC, and he threw like 4 picks.
Yeah.
And immediately then I was like, nah. Because if you don't perform well versus O State, it seems like that person never transitions to do well in college. Brady Quinn, for example. So
Yeah.
I ain't a big fan of Sam Darnold. I love what Geno. I mean, I guess I could see why they trying to move off of Geno, but I felt like they kind of just got rid of the culture now. So and they already been kind of slipping on the culture. Y'all let go of Bobby Wags, who was playing really well in DC now. So and they I'll speak on them later, but they on the come up.
For your Seahawks, it was a cultural reset, man. You look at it, they getting rid of all of the Pete Carroll guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's a reset. So that's just all it is. So they got to cut bait, rebuild, as you said, and get the new dudes. It's just the beneficiary of it is Pete Carroll picking up some of them dudes now.
Yeah. But is it? I almost think though, is some teams like they may be doing that on purpose. Like, is it better to instead of being middle of the road and getting middle of the road picks, it's kind of better to like scrap it off so you can get early picks to actually reset? Because I feel like low-key that'd be the problem with the Browns. Like we'd be terrible. But we would have like the 9th pick, the 12th pick or something. And it's like we can't never get the top pick. So now that we have the top pick, I hope we do the right thing with it. But
now I feel you on the scrapping and just basically like that form of reset, because you don't want to be that middle of the road team forever. Like you could like transfer it over to basketball. The Cavs was the middle of the road team for like the last 3-4 years. Now they up their echelon. I mean, granted, NBA picks are a little bit different from NFL picks, but any team can't sit in the middle of the road. You're just gonna be in the middle of the road. You're not gonna ever improve. So I'm against tanking in a sense, but I see where it comes in.
What y'all think of Justin Fields to the Jets?
Nah. Listen, I like him and Garrett Wilson. Don't get me wrong. I love that duo together. It's just something about the Jets I just don't like.
Yeah,
I can't put my finger on it. I just don't like that team.
I agree. I don't even say I don't like the Jets. I think it's just nasty work for Justin Fields. Like, I'm a fan of his. I think he actually has a chance to be a lot better than what the Bears gave him a chance to do. And now this year, they just got like 3 O-linemen today. Like, y'all never did that for him. Never did that for him, but you're going to do it for Caleb Williams. So that made me a Caleb Williams hater because I feel like they did everything to help him out. All the receivers they got last year, all the O-linemen they getting this year, they did nothing to help Justin.
Welcome to the club, Coach. Welcome to the club.
Yeah. I don't even think he's a bad quarterback. I just don't want him to succeed just because of Justin Fields. And it's not even really him. It's the Bears. Like, it's the Bears. The way they did Justin Fields, I think he can produce, but I don't know if it's going to happen in the Jets, though.
I like Fields with the Jets, and I think the reason why is because they got 2 nice running backs that can run that option stuff. They run it kind of like if they run it like Philly, I think he'll be successful.
Oh yeah,
if they run it like that, he got a star receiver. He does need another weapon because they lost Devontae Adams. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change course. I actually do want the Jets to do well because I'm a fan of Aaron Glenn. I'm a big fan of Aaron Glenn. And one of the things that he was talking about on his interviews is something that I'm going to be big on with preaching with the defense. He was trying to bring violence back to football. So, y'all, if y'all come to a practice or a game, you're going to hear me speak on violence a lot. And that's what he's big on. So, hopefully he succeeds. And then, obviously, an African-American head coach in the league. I want him to do well. So,
exactly. Most
definitely. What? Hopefully he does. I'm gonna change my tune on that. I want the Jets to do well with Justin Fields.
Speaking on the Jets, to me, they got a lot of Ohio State players. You know what I'm saying? They got Garrett Wilson, they got Justin Fields, they also got Jeremy Ruckert at tight end. So he got 2 receivers he didn't used to throwing the ball to. Right. Plus you got, at running back Breece Hall. I still got faith in the young man. I love Aaron Glenn. I think it's the head coach, the owner, Woody Johnson. I just don't like the Jets. But I'm still root for Aaron Glenn and the rest of my Buckeyes that's over there overall. But I ain't gonna lie, I wanted him to come on over to the Cleveland Browns, but it didn't work out that way.
You wanted who? Justin Fields?
Yeah, I would take Justin over small hands.
Well, so since you done brought it up, let's get to the next topic. How do y'all feel about this whole situation? We
F
still
plus
keep the free
plus.
agency talk together, but hey, this is a free agent move. How y'all feel about this?
F plus plus, coach. F plus plus.
And they
This
got
is
rid
my
of DTR. They got rid of
this is my
DTR for
reason.
him.
You got rid of DTR and you gave him a 5th round pick. I'm okay with you getting rid of. I'm not really okay with you getting rid of DTR, but I'm really mad about the 5th round pick because
Right?
Kenny Cody Pickett small hands is not. I don't know what he's competing for. I don't get it. So I hope
They
somewhere
said
along
the
the
starting
line.
job.
No, he competing for left out, coach. Left out. He's not.
You like DTR?
No, you mean don't throw right? No, I don't like DTR.
Okay. So I guess that's where I'm indifferent. I think Kenny Pickett is a way better option as a backup or third place quarterback than DTR has been. And I was very harsh on him the first game he got in, and it was like, well, he wasn't prepared. And I'm like, that's his fault. When you're a backup, you're literally supposed to be preparing to go in at any minute. He just never looked prepared to me, never looked good. And so I guess I try to think of it as value. And Kenny Pickett was a 1st round pick that we're getting for exchange of a 5th round pick and a 6th round quarterback or something like that. And just to be a backup in case Deshaun's injury is not ready for him to be the 3rd stringer backup. But I do believe we're going a quarterback at number 2. And that Kenny Pickett trade kind of solidified it for me. Like, oh yeah, they're going quarterback. So I'm not mad at it.
This is the reason why I'm mad at it. Because one, I actually after the trade, I was like, okay, let me pull up some film of Kenny Pickett when he was with the Eagles. And this is one play that sticks out to my mind. When the man tried to throw the ball, but kind of didn't throw the ball and held on to it and fumbled it in the same sense. I'm just like, dude, like, and it mirrors what I was seeing from out of him in Pittsburgh. Like, he did show you some good games where he could get the ball, throw the ball around. But my thing is, this is still down to my issues with him is going to be this: them small ass hands and his arm strength. Sometimes he struggled to get the ball to the other side of the sideline from the other hash.
Right.
So to me, those are my things. Like, and then you know how that wind is coming off the lake. Can you do it when it's in November, when it's snowing outside? That's my whole thing. Even though, they might be bringing him to compete, quote unquote. That's what I've been reading. He's brought in to compete for a starting job. Y'all better go get me a quarterback at number 2, and y'all better go get me another veteran. I'm not about to go into the season with just him.
Is Winston still with us?
No,
Winston's a free agent.
Oh man, I didn't see that.
I've been hearing Daniel Jones. I've been hearing Aaron Rodgers. Who else I didn't heard today for the Browns? Those, Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers.
I heard Aaron Rodgers is going to Steelers.
Me too.
That's the talk. The talk is Aaron Rodgers is going to the Steelers.
Oh yeah, he's to the Steelers, but and then my bad, not Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. I just pulled it up on Twitter. That's what I've been hearing. Russell Wilson to the Browns.
Would you take Russell Wilson?
No, I'm not taking it, but that's what Mary Kay Cabot is saying, that they're going to get another vet. And
if Mary Kay saying it, we're not going quarterback in the draft.
No, we going quarter. We got to. I just can't. We can't go in the season with Kenny Pickett, man.
I mean, but if you got Kenny Pickett, so you're gonna have Kenny Pickett, Deshaun Watson, and Russell Wilson.
Listen, no. First thing, Deshaun Watson ain't even playing. He's not playing this season.
That is true.
I chalk that up. He's going to they're going to get the injury money from insurance for him. He's not going to be ready for the season. I don't care how much rehabbing that man is doing. Even though they said that the tear that happened to the Achilles again wasn't as bad as the first one, is a minor one. But either way it goes, because he's back up and walking and moving around, I don't think he's going to be ready for the season.
Okay.
I can't start the season with Kenny Pickett. And we got to go get a quarterback with the 2nd pick, and we got to go get another veteran for me to feel comfortable.
So I guess that comes down to, I kind of agree with him, but that comes down to what I'm talking about. You get Russell Wilson, he's good enough to win you about 6 games. So that means the pick we have next year is like 14th. And then we get stuck there again. And then now we can't ever get like the franchise quarterback, and no franchise quarterback ever chooses to come to Cleveland. Like, as bad as people say, like when we took the number 1 pick on Baker Mayfield, it still changed the course of the franchise because we became a playoff team. And so in order to do that, like I think you got to do what those teams do, what the Commanders did, what the Texans did. You know, like you got to take, when you're at this point of the pick, you got to take the quarterback, especially because I don't see what else really changes the course of the franchise for that long.
It's Shador Cam for me with that second pick. I don't want to hear
Shador ain't
Abdul
coming
Carter.
to Cleveland. Shador
I
is
don't
not
want to hear
coming to
Abdul Carter. I don't want to hear what the little dude name is, the little cornerback. I love him to death, but he no. We need a quarterback with that number 2 pick.
You said Shador ain't coming to Cleveland.
Never.
that's how Coach feel. That's how he feel.
Shador ain't coming to Cleveland. Travis Hunter definitely better not come to Cleveland because them dudes gonna take his woman. He gonna be all heartbroken and not being able to play, and they gonna hate Cleveland. They gonna want out of his contract early. He better not come to Cleveland. He ain't built for this.
You want to make a bet? You want to make a bet now, Coach?
What's the bet?
If Shador is available at that number 2 pick, the Browns is gonna take him. Let's put $5 on it.
All right, I'm going with it.
All right,
I got you. I'll take that bet.
Okay.
I think if anything, Cam Ward. You know I'm big on him. I want Cam Ward.
I'm cool with both.
Yeah, I'm with Reed on that. I'm cool with both. I love both of their mentalities and willingness to compete. I may even like Cam's more just because of when they working out together. You could see they both got that chip, but Cam Ward be like talking.
Yeah, talking.
But I like both of them, man, and I think either one of them would do fine. What I do like though is I think Shador is O-line proof, meaning like he's been under duress his whole career.
Yes,
and has been fine. So he's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like he knows how to play without an O-line and can try to figure out how to make plays. I guess I can't really hold the Miami let down this year on Cam Ward, but because it was really defense. That defense was terrible.
Yeah, defense was trash.
It just came in. This is breaking news. I'm bullshitting. Zach Wilson to the Dolphins. They just put that up. I don't even know why the Dolphins would even took that one. That's crazy to me.
Hey, they gotta have somebody back there because Tua might not play the whole season.
That is true. Say that again, Coach.
How much?
Don't say. Don't have a number on there yet.
It was a trade or just a free agent pickup?
Free agent pickup.
1 year, $6 million, fully guaranteed.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So yeah,
compete for the third string job. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's definitely.
The Browns released the Dalvin Tomlinson.
Yeah.
So I mean, he saves us some money, but then we add some money to the dead cap. I think.
I got a question. What y'all think about Von Miller?
So we about to jump into that area in just a hot second. Real quick. Larry Tunsil to the Commanders. How y'all feel about that one?
Commanders got better.
I love it for the Commanders. I got a lot of family in DC, so I rock with the Commanders a little bit. But I've been rocking with the Texans, man. I mean, I know they blew us out bad, but I've been rocking with the Texans. I'm a Stroud fan. I like Diggs. I like Tank Dell. I like a lot of what they're doing, but man, why? They already struggled at O-line, and you get rid of your best O-lineman, and it's not like they're trying to rebuild. Like you're trying to get back to being your AFC South champ. So
I think the reason behind that, because you look at the haul that they got for Tunsil, they got a good haul. They got a third and a fifth this year, I believe, and then they got a second. They got I think they picked up 4 to 5 picks for him. And then you got to think about it. You got to worry about paying CJ in a couple years. So you don't want to have an overpriced offensive tackle. You got to pay CJ. You're going to have to – I don't know what's going to happen with Tank Dell. You might have to pay him. They let go what's dude's name? The running back that went there from Cincinnati, Samaje.
Yeah,
because he signed back with Cincinnati. They lost,
I thought P. Ryan stayed with Kansas City.
No. Whatever the running back
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon. Yeah, Joe Mixon.
Yeah,
I believe
okay.
somebody went back to Cincinnati. I gotta go back in my phone and figure it out. But some running back
that's what I'm saying. Joe Mixon was the heartbread.
Yeah.
Man, nah. See, they making me salty because, and I feel what you saying, but like if it comes down to paying Larry Tunsil or Tank Dell, receivers production is always replaceable.
Mm-hmm.
But left tackle, man,
that's a specialty.
It's a key. It's a key.
Specialty.
And you ain't gonna find that in the third. I mean, you can, but.
All right, so let's go on to our next topic. You know what it's time for, Coach. How you feel about Miles' new deal, man? How you feeling about that? Because we've been going back and forth with this dude for the last couple of weeks of him being a little diva. And I know you think it was just all about the money, but I don't think it was about the money. I just don't think that Miles had enough leverage to do what he wanted to do. So they just said, shut up, take this money. And you know what I'm saying? And get comfortable because we're gonna find you somebody else to go on the outside. So that's where that's when the Von Miller comes in. But what about Bosa? How y'all feel about Bosa?
I'm gonna say this real quick. Since you asked about Miles. I'm gonna steal little Boosie daughter's saying, I told y'all ninjas, I told y'all he wasn't going nowhere. But at the end of the day, man, money talks, money makes you more happier than you can be happy with a championship, but you're gonna be happy laying next to the millions because at the end of right now, through the end of this contract that he just signed, he's gonna bring in $225 million alone just from his NFL contracts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you put this way, everybody want to chase championships, but there's also people in the Hall of Fame without championships, man. So you can go from Cleveland to Canton, like how you said you wanted to go to.
Exactly.
In order for them to chase championships, they gonna have to bring that boy a little bit more help. The Devlin Tomlinson one shocked me, but Miles got paid. The Browns AB is still the king of contracts in my mind because he got that no trade clause. So Miles, you kind of stuck with his bitch.
Yeah, and it's 2-year deal, but then there's also an additional 2 of franchising attached to that too. So it's actually a 4-year deal.
Yeah, he stuck with us for a minute.
Oh yeah,
to 2030.
So so here's my take, man. Number one, as soon as it came out, I'm like, they're not going to trade him because there was nothing. Okay, Miles wants to go to a contender. No contender is giving up the amount of pieces or has the bread or has the picks to give up what it takes to get Miles and then to remain and be a contender.
Right.
Along with that, I don't think there was a team out there that had the draft capital that was worth Miles' production. You can't replace. I had to try to. I mean, I've had this argument at Xbox parties and whatever. Like, you cannot replace the production that he does. A Hall of Fame edge rusher for 2 first-round picks is not enough.
No,
so there was nothing. Enough. There was no deal, I think, out there that a team could do. Like, because even if it was a deal, it was going to be a very bad team. And so it's like, Miles, you want to go there where they're going to be bad and they don't have picks because we got them now? Or, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, the Browns is going to lose $60 million. So it didn't help the Browns at all. And Miles wasn't going to be able to go to a place that he really thought he was going to be able to go to. So I think that, along with it, probably came back like, yeah, all right, you really can't get what you want. So then let's talk the money side of things. So I think I think all aspects kind of played a part. But I also think he probably forced it. I think the under or the hidden agenda is, I think he probably changed the Browns' plans of what they was doing at number 2, to be honest with you. Yeah. Because Joe, he said he needed to see the plan first in the beginning of the offseason. Then he requested a trade. So that means the original plan
went out the window.
Horrible. Because even Joe Batonio wasn't on it. But then now all of a sudden Joe Batonio's on board and Miles signs a contract. So that means like whatever they did, they probably did switch up and want to get a quarterback. Because Miles mentioned like he wants to play with a quarterback like Jaden Daniels, which is a young rookie like turned quarterback. So they probably was about to try to, we want to get Abdul Carter and partner him with you, and he like,
no,
yeah, that's cool, but that's not cool. Like,
no.
See, I think
Listen.
me personally, I think what took place is they said, Miles, we're gonna get you somebody on the other side to cut down that production, like you know what I'm saying, to cut down your workload. We're gonna get somebody else on the other side. And we do got the capital to bring in with the restructuring of Deshaun Watson's contract. We do got the capital to bring in a Von Miller or a Bosa. And I think that's what it was too.
Bosa would fit in the cap though.
Bosa,
I think he can.
From my understanding, Bosa is headed to San Fran with his brother.
That would be dope.
San Fran's been talking to him from what I've been reading ever since he got released. So they trying to work that out so you have both the Bosa brothers on the same team for the first time since when they played at what was it, IMG or whatever, wherever they was at in Florida.
Yeah.
I think ING or whatever.
I think that'd be cool. For me, it was I don't want to spend that much money on getting help on the other side. I think Bosa is going to be more expensive than a Von Miller, who actually didn't really play that well last year for the Bills.
Right.
But Von Miller and Miles have always talked about playing with each other because of their past history at Texas A&M. Both of them being A&M. Yeah, so I'm thinking like veteran minimum, and then Alex Wright is learning under him, so he kind of shares reps with Alex Wright, and then we could save some more of that money to go get some O-linemen because. I mean, I'm glad Jedrick Wills is an unrestricted free agent. He was the worst thing I have ever seen.
We killed that man on this show many times.
We should have got Tristan Wirfs when he jumped out of that pool. When he jumped out of the pool, I was like, "That's the guy." So, now I know that's like irrelevant. Like that doesn't necessarily translate to football. But
real quick, Curtin. So I got a story to tell you, and I don't know if y'all ever heard this story. But when it came down to before the pick even happened, at the time that the offensive line coach was Callahan, right? He raved about Tristan Wirfs. That's who he wanted. That's who he wanted. That's who he wanted. And then the Browns went and took Jed Wills, and that man walked out the room like, "Why the fuck did y'all do this?" He told AB that's who he wanted. And they went and got Jed Wills, and he kind of walked out the room at that point in time.
And I ain't big on bashing players, man, but effort.
Hey, he don't got
paid that much is crazy to me.
Yes.
So he can say whatever he want about little old me as a high school coach, but effort, like his effort will get him sat on my team. It's ridiculous. So. I never seen somebody have that much lack of effort, and it's getting people hurt too. Like so,
the crazy thing though, Coach, he's going to end up on somebody's team.
He is.
Yeah, he's a former first round pick. He got to. Yeah. Somebody got to give him a chance off of that. Yeah. I got hope for Dewan, but I know he got all these knee injuries. But I actually think he's solid, and even if his knee's not all the way right back, we probably should move him in the guard.
They said that he's in situations. He's been at the Browns facility. He's in the best shape that he's been in a while. And dropped some LBs, and they got him slated at that left tackle. So they got Conklin at right. They got him at left, where he was at Ohio State. So I don't even know why they even moved him, but that's where he was at.
You know what's funny about Dewan, right? I went to go see Avery play up at Michigan State, and he actually got the start versus Michigan State this year. It's me, Deli, Bro, we all at the game. And so we see him. And Avery's a big-looking dude, 6'4", 6'5", 250. He get out there, and we see him line up against him. And then the other tackle, I think, is Paris Johnson. Avery looked like, look like me, like a regular old dude. And it's funny because he came out the locker room and he was like, and he actually did a phenomenal job in run support. Like he was standing them up, but excuse my language. He came back out. He's like, "Hey, coach, that's a big bitch." he was like, what's crazy? He was like, most dudes that big, like I could bend the corner on them. You know what I'm saying? He was like, dude, his feet are immaculate. So he was like, man, like I ain't get no pass rush on him, but on the run support, I was able to shoot my hands and kind of keep him away. But he was like, that's a big dude. And I actually seen him at Dave & Buster's, and he is like huge. Like, so I got a lot of hope for him. I'm glad Joe Batonio's coming back. Wyatt Teller's back, I think.
Yeah.
And then Luke Weipler. So I guess we okay. I still
We
think
got
I don't
we
trust
got decimated. We got decimated last year because of the injuries. Our own line,
definitely.
if it stayed healthy, we would have been good. Conklin, even after his surgery, he played way better than I thought he was. I'm not gonna lie. Like last year, he started out slow. I'm not gonna lie. And when he first came back, he started out slow. But as the season progressed and he got more snaps under his belt, he got better than me to where I didn't have to look on that side of the ball no more to see who was getting blown off. Because at that side, I remember at one point it was a DeJuan Jones, it was a James Hudson, it was somebody else that we don't even probably ain't on the team no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I once Conklin got them snaps, I never had to look on the right side of the ball no more.
Do you trust him to have a healthy season though?
I trust him enough to draft a backup.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
A productive backup at that. So,
I don't even know if I would draft. I think I would try to find like an older veteran, O-lineman in free agency that ain't gonna cost too much, a vet minimum or something like that.
Yeah,
go in there because when the dudes like Dunn and stuff is getting in, and bless their heart, man, them dudes trying, but
And you brought up Avery Dunn, who was one of our former players from Shaker Heights, who at Michigan State, he just entered the transfer portal. He is part of this new line that just transferred over to Toledo.
Yeah, he went to Toledo?
Yeah, he did.
Transferred to Toledo, but he's over there with oh God, what's the kid's his dad is an NFL announcer now. He used to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You talking about a lineman?
Yeah, he's a defensive lineman. He's over there with his son.
I know they got Chip training.
Is it Gerald McCoy? McCoy? Is that the last name? Am I saying the first name wrong?
McCoy?
McCoy from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And the Bengals. I know you're talking about.
So his son just transferred over to Toledo, so they brought in.
That old dude, we old.
Yeah, man. So
hey, all I gotta say is this: even though Toledo's my rival, I'm a Bowling Green grad. You know, shout out to Eddie George for signing with the with my my Falcons. But I'm gonna say this, man. Shouts out to Toledo's head coach. He's been doing the thing up there. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta give him his props. You know, hey, Ave, man. Hey, look, I'm about to come see you now, Ave. You right up the street, bro.
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna try to get him and Jade on the podcast, especially with Jade getting ready to do his draft stuff. So, I'm gonna try to get both of them on here as well. Just talk to them and see how they feeling and about their futures and stuff. So I'm gonna definitely try to get them on here.
Dakota got a bunch of games in this area this year too.
Yeah, he do.
I'm probably going. He got one in Ann Arbor, so I'm probably going to that. I think they play Toledo. No, they don't play Toledo, and he was salty about that because they finally in the same conference and they don't play each other.
Yeah.
But they've been playing each other, Central Michigan and Michigan State.
Yeah.
But I think he got a game. I think Dakota got a game at Akron and at Kent. So he got a lot of games in the area. I'm gonna be.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check him out too.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. All right, so let's get to the next topic. Coach, Shot, I already know you gonna hate this topic. you gonna hate this topic, but this is your boy. This is your boy. Josh Allen cashes in. Hey, they just
like Josh Allen?
He calls Josh Allen the DEI MVP of the NFL. Hey man, this dude just broke the bank with $330 million. Was it over what, 5 years, 6 years?
Something like that. Yeah. Hey, all I gotta say is this. My Buffalo Bills, which was my first favorite team, then it was the Browns, and then it was the Bucks, Tampa Bay Bucks, and then it was Browns again. My Buffalo Bills, man. Hey man, what the fuck y'all doing, man? Y'all gonna have buyers remorse. Listen, Josh Allen ain't gonna get y'all to where y'all want to be, man. I'm sorry.
You don't think so? You don't think he got the potential to?
No matter how much potential.
Palmer from the Chargers.
And I love that pickup. No matter how much potential he has, you're taking away from your defense because you lost a whole bunch of players.
Yeah.
You're losing players. So my whole thing is this: if you chasing the ring like I think Josh Allen might be wanting to do, you gotta say, hey man, go spend some of that money somewhere else and get me on the back end. It's gonna be what's gonna happen with Josh Allen is the same thing what happened with Deshaun Watson. It's gonna be a lot of restructuring of that contract through the life of that contract to ease up money to get them other players.
Who else making money over there?
Over there in Buffalo, well, you're gonna have to at some point in time you're gonna have to play Cook, the running back. You're gonna have to Kenyon Coleman, the receiver.
He ain't did nothing yet. Coach, move forward because you keep blinking out of the screen.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I don't know. So and then you're gonna have to. They just resigned. What was it? The defensive end, Russo Rossi. What's his name? The Duke kid out of Miami.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they got some linebackers. They also resigned.
I just don't think. I think they can afford to do that because they ain't got no other like elite players. They got good players. That can be. I mean, I think they kind of in the same like realm as like the Chiefs from a few years ago, like minus Tyreek Hill. They got a lot of good players, but nobody that like costs a ton of money. I mean, Jones did, but I don't see. I think they can afford to do that. I ain't a Josh Allen hater, but I ain't no fan either. But good for them. I like the Bills. Just because they gave. I mean, I was on the 0-6 at the time, but they gave us a home when we didn't have a home. I thought that was pretty cool. They gave it like the Browns Day, for the Browns fans.
Yeah, got love for them for that.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it. You got to pay your quarterback, and he the best quarterback they probably ever had. So,
yeah, man, they definitely opened their wallets for him. That's a crazy. That's the second highest deal, isn't it? Because Patrick Mahomes was like $400 million over 10 years or something like that. So, hey.
So this is all the Bills have signed so far. They added defensive line help with Michael Heote. They added Palmer. They added they resigned Russo and released Von Miller. That's about it.
Okay.
So they still got some money to spend. I know the Patriots got a whole bunch of money to spend. They've been spending it.
Yeah,
but they ain't spending it where they really need to be spending it at though. Like they ain't getting no impact players.
They building their defense. That with Vrabel, they gonna build that defense. He got him. He got a couple linebackers that he used to coach. He's building that defense, and which they already had when they already had some good corners in Gonzalez and a few other players. They're building the defense, so I can't be mad at them.
Okay. All right, so the next topic I want to get into is it's been viral. It's been all over the place. So let's talk about it. LeBron James versus Stephen A. Smith. How y'all feel about this?
I'm stuck in the middle because I'm a dad, so I understand, and plus the thing, I'm a dad that also coached my kids in sports. So I understand his part about being a dad and stepping to Stephen A. from a dad perspective.
Right.
But at the same time, as a coach and a former player and a former coach, you gotta let your son be a man and let him handle that. He in the league now. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let him do that. It's gonna come to criticism because he is your son. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that I disagree with Stephen A. was coming at him from a father's aspect. You don't tell no man how to be no father. That's not your kid. Other than that, Stephen A. ain't saying nothing wrong in my eyes.
So, I guess my take on it is this. I'm tired. You already know how I am in this situation. If you paid attention to my Facebook page in the past, you will understand. Yes, your son is up for criticism, and you got to stand on that shit. You put your son in this screwed up position. You put your son in this screwed up position for your own ego. So because you was trying to float your own ego, now you want to sit up here and get mad because everybody's criticizing your son. Dude, you knew that your son was not ready. You was worried about not being able to play another year, and you wanted to make this miracle father-son thing happen, which honestly was a joke. It was a joke. It was a publicity stunt all day long. And you know, I will battle anybody on the situation that the boy just did not earn it. He did not deserve it. He should not have been there. I always argued and stated that he needed to go to the G League, prove that you deserve this opportunity. He went down to the G League. The G League hold 336 players. He was ranked 335. So that lets you know that your son was not ready. So the fact that you keep trying to force him up to get playtime on this court, and you're cutting other people. First off, you cut somebody out of an NBA spot. Now you're cutting people out of team playing spots, like time playing. I mean, on the Lakers, when you don't deserve to be out there, and you're sitting back and you mad. You mad because the criticism is coming down, and the one person you want to jump to is Stephen A. Smith, because he's telling you, stop it. Yeah, you need to stop it. Because your son he's just not there. Now, if we're talking about Bryce is a baller. Bryce is a real baller. We'll see what he looks like when he gets into college. But Bronny is just not that guy. He's just not that guy. He doesn't deserve the opportunity. He's proven that he doesn't deserve the opportunity. So now we're in a situation. Now you want to run around trying to bully people and try to step up in people's faces. You only did it to Stephen A. Smith because you knew he wasn't going to risk his job. But you ain't stepped to no other reporter. You ain't stepped to no Kendrick Perkins, no Shaquille O'Neal, no Charles Barkley. All of the people who said the same exact thing Stephen A. has said. You've never stepped to those people that way. So why you do it to Stephen A.? Because you knew you towered over him. But you ain't even about that life. You ain't fighting nobody like that. You've probably never even had a fight in your life, like, because of the fact everybody's been protecting you. So for you to act like that was just total ego bullshit. And I can't get with it. I can't get with it at all.
So I think I'm where Reed kind of stands, like, and I actually seen him say something to somebody about it too. It was like something on Twitter today. You could tell him talking to somebody on the court side. And I don't think it was about the criticism of Bronny. And I'm pretty sure he verbalized that. It was about when Stephen A. said, as a father, stop this. And he was trying to tell him, like, how to be a dad. And at that point, that's where I think that line got crossed. Like, yeah, but I think that line got crossed of, like, don't tell me how to be no dad. Like, leave that part out. Like, criticize all you want. Criticize me all you want. But don't tell me how to be a dad to my son. I think that's where that conversation had. And I think Stephen A. kind of voiced that too. Like, you know, he didn't come to me as a basketball player. Stephen A. said he didn't come to me as a basketball player. He came to me as a dad. And so up to that point, like, I'm not upset. As far as Bronny, I know we disagree on that. But, I mean, I guess JJ Redick took the fall on that he said he's the one that did that with the minutes or whatnot. But I also ain't mad at it either, because they do this to us and all these other fields. So
I hear it, but I think it sets a bad precedence. That's like, I get it. Nepotism happens, but I think this is a bad precedence, because now, so say Dwayne Wade, or not even Dwayne Wade, let's just say Carmelo Anthony. Let's say Carmelo Anthony is now like, I want my son to be in the NBA because I played in the NBA, even if he doesn't earn it. That sets a bad precedence. Like, I don't agree with it.
He cold though.
Oh yeah, his son dope. His son dope.
He going.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. All right, so let's get to the next topic. I like your outlook on that one. I like that. Steph Curry on pace for 4,000 threes. It's amazing, man. Like, the dude is the greatest 3-point shooter ever. You think he's gonna reach it though?
How many more he need?
I don't even know, honestly. I just saw it pop up right before we got on, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna throw this on. Let's talk about it."
You see, he took a job today, so that's already starting to hint towards the end. He took a job at Davidson to be the general or assistant general manager of basketball. But I see it's assistant, huh?
For the NBA?
No, Davidson, his
alma mater, or his old college. Okay,
yeah, for boys and girls basketball. I think that's to more help, like, raise money for them, keep like talent and stuff coming in, probably help with recruiting.
Okay.
But you said he needs how much more?
I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can pull that up real quick. Let me see.
If he on pace for it, then he close. I think he probably gonna try to get that. But also, I don't like. He may not even need to. Like, what? He don't have to prove that. I think at this point, like I was talking about earlier, the first is forever. He gonna be the greatest shooter all the time.
Oh, most definitely. Hey, I don't mean to cut y'all off, but this is I think this is a big move. Broncos just added Dre Greenlaw from the 49ers.
Yep.
That's a big move.
It looks like Najee Harris is headed to the San Diego Chargers.
Whoa.
Chargers. With JK still there too?
No, JK's a free agent.
Yeah, you're a free agent.
I was gonna say that's a backfield. So that means the 49ers interior got kind of weak.
Oh yeah, they got.
The other one went to the Commanders.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's got no money. They trying to get rid of Ayuk too because he paid like the 6th most money out of anybody a non-quarterback contract, 6 or 7.
Yeah,
ain't got no money.
Okay, Michael Gallup is looking to visit the Commanders. That's what they're saying right now. So okay, free agency is off and running, man. But
another option.
Yeah. So I don't know how many threes Steph need. Hold on, it's right here. Let's see. I'm trying to figure this one out.
Should ask AI.
Yeah, that would have popped up real quick. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. He is.
I just asked AI to see.
Career.
He needs 7 more. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he's at 3,993.
93. Yep. Yeah, he needs 7 more.
Oh yeah, he'll break that easy. He'll break that
2 games.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's dope. All right, so we at the end of the show, Coach, and we do this thing. It's called Get It Off Your Chest. It could be about anything. It could be politics. It could be entertainment. It could be sports. Whatever. What you want to get off your chest, Coach?
Oh, damn, y'all put me on the spot.
This is what my son said when we had him on, too.
Get it off your chest. All right. Yeah, Browns can't keep Browning, man. I'm sick of this. I'm glad they didn't choose the option to rebuild. If they was going to choose to rebuild out of this situation to trade Miles, I've never been I got this team and this team type of dude.
Right.
But 2025 might have been it. I might have had to rescind my fandom and go to the Commanders. So y'all got a chance this offseason to I guess keep a lot of us connected. Cause I ain't gonna lie, like I watch football. I did not watch a lot of Browns games towards the end of the year. I'd rather play the game, watch film of us losing, which is crazy. So like y'all gotta figure it out, man. We pay too much money, and then y'all trying to get us to pay this more money for this indoor facility, which I do like, and I don't oppose going to Brook Park as much as I thought I did. But like, yeah, don't mess this up, please. Shador, Cam Ward, don't need no. I mean, as much as I like Travis Hunter, that ain't gonna cut it. As much as I like Abdul Carter, that ain't gonna cut it. You got to figure it out, man, because it's enough is enough. We didn't suffer enough, man. The Cavs then been to the top, fell off and bounced back by the time. The Guardians, same thing. Like, what's up, man?
Yeah. Most definitely. All right,
well,
go ahead.
And Jared Allen, stop selling me on these lays, man. I'll be putting you for like 5. There's no way an NBA center can't get 5 boards. Like, that's crazy. 5? Nah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, Coach Shot, go ahead, man. What you want to get off your chest?
Mine is I'm gonna go back to my usual because we live in this crazy world of
Politics.
politics and Wig himself. We are. I just need people to realize that we're in troubling times. Like just to sit up here and realize, like, okay, like my pops, he's retired, but he's still working, collecting Social Security. Just to know that maybe in a month or so he ain't gonna be getting a Social Security check, which is part of his income that he earned. To me, I think that's stupid. I know a lot of people like, we listen to a lot of economists. They say, "Oh, Social Security is a Ponzi scheme." Well, guess what? You better keep this Ponzi scheme going because everybody relies on this Ponzi scheme that's been paid into it. So keep going. But this is the problem that we're facing is that there's not enough young people paying into it. That's because, unfortunately, y'all open up these avenues for young people to get paid other than paying through Social Security, like, of course, the internet and other ways. So you got all these influencers. You got these young kids that really don't want to punch nobody else's clock. So y'all got to find a way to get that going. And in my mind, President Elon Musk, you got to go. You're a foreigner. I guess Trump is right. The immigrants are still in your jobs because he came in and fired all y'all. The state of Nebraska, I do and I don't feel sorry for y'all because y'all about to go bankrupt. That's y'all problem. Y'all voted against your own best interest. He's deported all the immigrants. Y'all rely on immigrants to do all your farm work. And that's about, I think they said about 40 to maybe 65% of their money that comes out of the state of Nebraska is from farm work. And 40% of those workers are Hispanics. So they're all gone. So you have stuff just there and just rotting and just sitting there.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm just going ahead and say that it was never about no damn eggs. It was never about nothing else. It's just the simple fact of the matter is some of y'all white people want to go back to the past. I'm talking about your old ones and y'all teaching some of these young ones that old bullshit. Y'all got to move forward because the world like that is done. It's done and it's over, man. It's like we got to move in harmony because I stick to this and I tell people this. It's fucked up because I bet you would like say a day come and I don't know if y'all believe in aliens or whatever. Say it's the alien invasion. I bet at that point in time, skin color goes out the window. I bet at that point in time we become one and we fighting for the human race. So why we need to stand up and fight for the human race now against all these rich people who are subduing the poor and middle classes to thinking we ain't shit. So we got to come together, man. I'm on my, like I said, coach from last time, I'm on my Fred Hampton stuff. We got to bring everybody together, man. Black, brown, white, poor. We got to come together because we the ones who's getting screwed.
Most definitely. And I'll piggyback off of that too, because what I'm sick and tired of is all of the chaos that they are trying to throw on the television to confuse the hell out of you. I will advise you to stop looking at CNN, MSNBC, Fox, definitely, Newsmax. If you really want to know what's going on around the world and how people feel about America, look at the BBC, look at the Al Jazeera, like look at any international news. If you want to know what is going on around the world, hell, really dig into TikTok, really dig into like the platforms that are not ran by these Republicans who are just milking everybody for everything. Because then you will find out what the truth is. The truth is that people are being confused and blinded. And in the midst of everything, you're missing the fact that Elon Musk and Marco Rubio just got into a huge verbal shouting match. And I think his name is Mark Duffy, also who is like in charge of FAA, which is
Sean Duffy.
Sean Duffy, there you go. And over the aviation stuff. Did you say, Coach?
I said sorry, Rob. He was Sean Duffy was part of Real World Road Rules. He was an MTV guy. Okay,
so they they're all like getting into it big time, and like chaos. The chaos has gone into their house, and now that house is slowly starting to fall apart. If you really want to know what's going on in this world, watch international news. Stop being brainwashed by Fox. Stop being brainwashed by MSNBC. Stop being brainwashed by CNN. Newsmax, because they are not giving you the truth. America has become hated.
Mm-hmm.
It is. We are literally looked at as Russia right now. The whole European, like all the continent is like they're all like slowly banding together. Like Canada's preparing for actual war. That means they're looking at us. Mexico's preparing for a war. These are people that used to be our allies. So I just implore you to look at international news. Stay off of American media that's paid for by Jeff Bezos and the Republicans, because they're not telling you the truth at all, and they want you to be out here stupid. They want you to be out here uneducated so they can keep on robbing you. That's all it is. They're robbing us blind. They're trying to lie about everything, because that's been their motto the whole time. Just lie and make it sound truthful. So that's all I have to say, and that's where I'm gonna end that at, with getting that off my chest. But we're over our time, gentlemen. I want to thank Coach Tyler Curtin, the new head coach at Lutheran East. I wish you nothing but the best, man. We are going to come and check you out at some games, and
hey, Tyler, I'm right around the corner, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I do all the social media stuff, so I'm working on a graphic to drop soon. Just got to finalize some of these times, it being weird with not having lights and whatnot. So
yeah.
Once I figure that out, we'll drop and start blasting stuff on the social media and whatnot. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for sure.
Oh, appreciate you, man.
Best of luck, man.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. All right, so that brings us to the end of our show, y'all. Once again, Let's Get to the Facts podcast is sponsored by No More Struggling Entertainment, OPM Clothing Line, and the Original Bonuts. I'm your host, Coach Doss, my man Shot, our guest Curtin. We'll see y'all. All right.
Peace.
All right, sir. That was a good one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But look, hey,